Does it chainsaw? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Hey guys, John here from Sonic Drive Studio. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna get nasty. Today we're gonna get filthy in that typical Swedish chainsaw way with the brand new Medusa pedal by Lichtlaerm Audio. I've been having so much fun with this pedal because not only does it sound outrageous, as you'd expect from an HM2 clone, but in terms of features, this pedal is also absolutely insane. But before we dive in, let's check out a demo that I made with this pedal through my Peavey 6505 1992 original, with 3 different ways of using this pedal into this amplifier. Let's check it out. Alright, that was downright filthy, and I love it. So as you could see, that was the Medusa into the front of my 1992 original, so the Peavey 6505's newest iteration. The guitar that I used was my ESP LTD Eclipse EC1000T full thickness CTM model in vintage gold satin with the Fishman Fluence classic open core pickups on the hot-rodded humbucker pickup voicing. The amp was being fed into my RedSeven Amplification Amp Central reactive load and then into an OwnHammer IR, a RockBox IR from the new V30M-2001A speaker pack, which is based on a Marshall vintage speaker. Mic Blend Modern 3 to be precise. So first you got to hear this pedal through the rhythm channel of the 6505 on a clean setting. So most, if not all, of the gain that you heard in the beginning came from this pedal. But this pedal was being pushed pretty hard into the preamp, so the rhythm channel probably also started to break up a little bit, which of course adds to the gnarliness. Then I switched on the rhythm channel to the crunch mode for a sort of medium crunch sound, with this pedal on top of it basically for an extra saturated tone. And finally I switched to the lead channel on a sort of metal tone, but with a bit less gain than I normally use, and of course also with this pedal on top for extra filth and nastiness. Of course, adjusting the settings on the pedal a little bit to compensate for those different amp settings. But yeah, obviously it sounded very filthy and nasty, so this HM2 clone has already proven itself worthy. However, as in true Lichtlaerm Audio fashion, this pedal is so much more than just a simple HM2 clone. Now in comparison, the original Boss HM2 pedal only has 4 controls. A level control, a low and high color control, which is basically a 2-band EQ, and a gain control. Now prepare to have your mind blown, or rather sawn off, as we go through the features that this pedal has to offer, and let's start at the top. On the top row with these controls, we have a gain, level, and a cut control. Note that this pedal has twice the amount of gain on tap as the original HM2, so that is wonderful. And also note that the level control has 3 times the amount of headroom on tap that the original HM2 has to offer. Now the cut control over here can be found on many of the Lichtlaerm audio pedals, and it's a very powerful tone shaping tool to tighten up the tone. It's basically a low cut before the gain stages with level compensation to tighten up the tone. And below that, over here, we have a 4-band EQ. Low and grind are basically the standard EQ controls that can also be found on the original HM2. To get that typical full-blown HM2 sound, I crank these up all the way, as well as the gain and level controls, of course. But we also have this additional mid control over here with a selectable mid frequency. So this allows you to really fine-tune the EQ characteristic of this pedal in the mid-range. Really nice. And then we also have a presence control over here, which is basically an active high shelf, just for fine-tuning the brightness if so desired. And it doesn't end there, because this pedal also has this gate control over here, which is based on the Lichtlaerm Audio key and gate pedal. It's a really good noise gate, it works really well, and it's actually triggered by the circuit input. And then we have a blend control for the loop, more on that in a minute. And below that we have 2 little switches. Over here we have the voicing switch, and that allows you to switch between 2 voicings, classic and modern. Classic sounds like your old classic HM2, and modern changes the character of the pedal quite drastically for more versatility. You'll get to hear that in a minute. And then over here we have the polarity switch, and that flips the phase of the signal of the loop. And as I mentioned, this pedal also has a built-in FX loop with the blend control. And this allows you to blend in another effect or another pedal like a distortion pedal with the internal circuitry. I'm going to show you guys how that sounds in a couple of seconds. But something cool about the blend control is that when you set the mix to 100%, it basically means that you can use this pedal either as a noise gate pedal, so a simple noise gate pedal, or as a clean boost, or a combination of both. As long as you have no pedals in the loop, that is. So that's a pretty awesome extra feature. Okay, so now let's run this pedal through the clean channel of the 6505 1992 original again, this time using another guitar, my ESP LTD Phoenix Black Metal to be precise. And I'm going to put a pedal in the loop and blend it in to combine the circuitry of this pedal with the other pedal, and for that purpose I'm going to use the Lichtlaerm Audio Gehenna distortion pedal. It's kind of an amp in a box pedal with a very nice and tight modern high gain tone. So it's a quite different sounding pedal than this one, the Medusa. So it's going to be interesting to blend the two and see how the characters of the pedals interact and how they combine into one big and filthy sound. I'm also going to switch between the blend control at 100% so you can hear how this pedal just sounds on its own through this pedal, and also switch to the mix set to 0% so you just hear the circuitry of the Medusa. Same signal chain, just a different guitar. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. What an insane sounding pedal, and it's capable of so much. Now what I'd also like to do is loop those riffs through the same setup and then tweak the controls on the pedal a little bit so you guys can hear the wide range of tones that these controls have to offer. Check it out. So that's the Medusa by Lichtlaerm Audio, a distortion / filth / chainsaw / HM-2 clone / boost / noise gate / loop pedal. This pedal does a lot and it sounds great. However, if you're just looking for a great sounding HM-2 clone, this pedal delivers that in spades, and obviously so much more. As always, for more information about this pedal, visit lichtlaermaudio.com. That's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you found it useful. Please drop a like and subscribe, as that really helps the channel out. I'd hugely appreciate that. And you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers!